Hello and welcome to Mojarto on Art. I'm Anu Subramanian. This week, the works that we visit are an explosion of color, from Chakra to the paintings of Sahaya Sharma. Then, we let you know about some upcoming events happening in the art world this week, and we get to know some artists on mojarto.com. All this and more on Mojarto on Art. For our first story of the evening, let's visit Chakra, which was India's submission to the London Design Biennial. It's a colorful, immersive installation that allows for both reflection and aspiration. Utopia is the process of making a better world, the name for one path history can take, a dynamic, tumultuous, agonizing process with no end. Struggle forever. The science fiction novelist Kim Stanley Robinson said that. And at Chakra, an installation currently on view at Delhi's Bikaner House, India's post-independence pursuit of utopia was on view in vibrant technicolor.
Come on with it.
How do we show a socio-economic progress of India using a certain metaphor? And the metaphor was the 7 chakras.
Come on with it.
Because the 7 chakras can only ascend, and their energy points that ascend from one point to another point of ascension and therefore finally enlightenment. Each of the chakras has the original format and form and color that is in our ancient texts. Each color represents a certain element with a certain kind of a connotation.
Raj Shripathy, the founder of India Design Forum, commissioned this installation to first be put on view at London Design Biennale. Scenographer and artist Sumanth Jaikrishnan designed Chakra.
Utopia is something that we all aspire to, as a social idea. We never actually get there. So it's always that thing that you look to, and it's like if you look at it, it's already changed. So I was trying to find metaphorically something parallel to that in the thinking or ideas I was familiar with. And the first thing that came to my mind were the chakras.
We have the 6 chakras in the main hall, and the 7th chakra is an audiovisual in the Garbhagriha, which is a small little room, ante-room, that leads on from the main installation, where you are sitting in this very calm and quiet, illuminated white space. Call it enlightenment, which is what we thought we were trying to show.
When you look at India, it's so many different ideas. In that sense, design is what you get on the street. So the context was street metaphor, chakra metaphor, and then how does it all come together in the head. So what you see here is really the street.
As a result, Chakra blends the hundreds of languages and perspectives shared across India through the interactive installation. Hand-painted lettering reflects the many fonts and languages spoken.
And we thought it was a brilliant thing to do because it looks at India both in its traditional form and in its contemporary form.
It's a very ingenious idea to bring in this, like stainless steel is a very modern material, if you say, and the chakras, which is our own, which is the most critical part of the human body or the whole universe. To incorporate these two things and give it in the context of utopia, what better can it be?
The whole curatorial fundamental basis for me was based upon the India Design Report that was asked for by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and prepared by Charles and Ray Eames, the great architects and designers from the US, who had visited India several times and were fascinated with Indian craft. And that report says the importance of the ordinary earthenware lota, symbolic of where India's design trajectory should head. It stood for a metaphor for India's craft skills, and this meant that design in India should always remain democratic. Design in India should always remain sustainable. Design in India should always have a social implication.
The team behind Chakra sees the coupling of design and social progress as a key ingredient in India's vision for a design utopia. By harnessing the country's layered heritages, rural power, craft skills, and aesthetic value, Chakra envisions a paradise that is distinctly Indian and ever-changing. Chakra is on view until April 16th at Delhi's Biennale House. Want to know what else you can do this week in the art world? Then keep watching, because here are some upcoming events. Delhi, you have until April 16th to head to Biennale House and see Serendipity Arts Festival Delhi. The Delhi edition of this interdisciplinary arts festival will include a crafts exhibition, a photography exhibition, a design installation, dance performances, a storytelling session, and a theater performance. Chennai, Phoenix Market City wants you to know the art installations and works on view a little bit better, so it's hosting its monthly art tour on April 15th at 10:30 a.m. Mumbai, on April 22nd at 10 a.m., you can be a part of an animation workshop by Alia Pathan, an internationally recognized artist who will guide students through a workshop on how to begin and execute animation art. Bengaluru, Stage presents Jugalbandi April 22nd at Attagalata. It will be a Jugalbandi performance of Mridangam and Tabla, performed by two seasoned classical artists. After the break, artist Sahaya Sharma tells us about jellyfish that never die. Don't go anywhere. Mojarto on Art will be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Mojarto on Art. In the world of Mojarto this week, we meet artist Zargar Zahur, who talks to us about how hope shines through every one of his paintings. And he introduces us to a few other artists from Kashmir that you can get to know anytime on mojarto.com.
Actually, from childhood, my mother has taught me all these things. तो उसके साथ रह के मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा. बचपन में जब छोटा था तो मैं उनके साथ रेडियो जाया करता था. रेडियो में बहुत सारे आर्टिस्ट हुआ करते थे. उसमें फाइन आर्टिस्ट भी आते थे, उसमें रेडियो आर्टिस्ट भी आते थे, उसमें ड्रामा आर्टिस्ट भी आते थे. तो उनके साथ में पला बड़ा. मैंने हमेशा ऐसी कलर स्कीम यूज़ की है, देयर इज़ अ होप आल्सो, वो मैंने उस किस्म का कलर स्कीम और इस्तेमाल की है. आप हमेशा देखिए उन पेंटिंग्स में बैक से कहीं ना कहीं एक लाइट तो निकलती है. हम हमेशा देखते हैं होप इज़ देयर. इन कश्मीर एवरीथिंग इज़ आर्ट. इट्स रियली ब्यूटीफुल. पीपल आर ब्यूटीफुल. आप अगर एक इलिटरेट आदमी को देखेंगे जिनने कुछ पढ़ाई लिखा नहीं है, लेकिन वो भी खूबसूरत आर्ट बनाता है. पेपर माशी करते हैं, कालीन की डिज़ाइन बनाते हैं, शॉल बनाते हैं. और कश्मीर तो फेमस है ही ऐसी चीज़ों के लिए. और उनमें ऐसी कोई नॉलेज है नहीं, बट उनका ये इंट्यूशन से आता है। दे हैव अ ग्रेट इंट्यूशन फॉर डिज़ाइन, और इनमें आर्ट भरा हुआ है, ये इनके ब्लड में है, इनके खून में है। मोजार्टो पे आर्ट वर्क देने से ये हुआ कि मेरा काम पूरे वर्ल्ड में चला गया। एवरीबॉडी हैज सीन माय वर्क, और मुझे बहुत सारे इंक्वायरीज भी आई। I have recommended 3 artists because they belong to Srinagar, and 2 of them are upcoming artists and one is senior artist, senior most artist. वो मेरे से भी senior है, रैना साहब। और मैंने उनमें बहुत कुछ देखा, उनकी पेंटिंग्स को मैंने देखा कि ये बहुत आगे जा सकते हैं, तो इसीलिए मैंने इन तीनों को रिकमेंड किया। जावेद की पेंटिंग में नेचर है, लैंडस्केप है, और वो वहीं रहता है, कश्मीर में रहता है और ऑन द स्पॉट पेंटिंग करता है। डिफरेंट नेचर के फैसेट्स को बताता है, नेचर की डिफरेंट फीलिंग्स को हमें दिखाता है। वसीम वानी एक्सप्रेशनिस्ट है, ही पेंट्स एब्स्ट्रैक्ट फिगर्स और उन्हीं को वो कंपोज करके नेचर को भी रखता है। कभी कभी वो आर्टिस्टों के दुख दर्द भी बनाता है, तो वो अपनी पेंटिंग को इस तरह से एक्सप्लेन करता है। रैना जी टर्मोइल के टाइम में जब श्रीनगर में हालात ख़राब हो गए, तब श्रीनगर से बाहर निकले। रैना जी इज़ नॉस्टैल्जिक, ही पेंट्स फिगर्स इन डिफरेंट फीलिंग्स। उसका आप अगर आर्ट देखते हैं तो वो उसमें आप देखिए दर्द है, फील है, एहसास है, एक एंग्जाइटी है। वो हमेशा कश्मीर को याद करता है और चाहता है कि मैं कश्मीर कब आऊँ, और कश्मीर आने के साथ साथ वो उसी चीज़ को पेंट करता है। उसका सफ़र ही यही है, कश्मीर।
Check out mojarto.com for more. Now, let's meet artist Sahaya Sharma, who draws inspiration from unlikely places, for example, jellyfish and sedimentary rock formations. The result are her vibrant, explosive canvases and sculptures. Let's check them out.
Abstract art is the language of the soul. It is something that is not supposed to be understood logically, but that it is something that's supposed to be felt. And the textures and the form make you see things and make you experience things. You can't rationalize, but you can sort of get soaked into it. My name is Sahaya Sharma, and I am a fine artist. Yeah. Or visual artist or contemporary artist. I don't know, it's all blurred. I was always drawing and doodling as a child. It started off with birthday cards and every festival card for every family member. Wherever we went, trips or holidays, my drawing book and my color pencils never left me. After that, I studied art as a subject in Wellum. It's the boarding school where I went to. And then from there, I sort of studied it in Singapore. It was a 3-year course in fine art. And I think that's when something in my brain came alive. My last year when one professor was like, you know, I'm seeing all your work, but what's really standing out to me is your use of color. I think that's when, and I was sitting with her in the tutorial and I said, she's like, why don't you try abstract art? I was like, no, I mean, there's nothing to it, like, you know. So I went to my art store, it's called Overjoyed, it's right across college. And I got my drawing book and paints and everything, and I went back to the studio. And I couldn't stop. I finished the whole drawing book, which was 48 pages. And there was just something happening there. And And it was addictive, like I just couldn't stop. And I was like, holy, this is so much fun, you know.
Since finding her calling in abstract art, Sahaya Sharma's body of work has included video art, collage, and her vibrant, audacious, colorful paintings. Though these paintings, with their bright hues and spontaneous shapes, might first denote joy, the works are sometimes spiritual, sometimes dark, encoded with Sharma's memories and studies. Several of her works on view at Gallery Articulate explored nature, its destruction, and the species whose behavior seems more fantasy than reality.
There's one from my jellyfish series. It's called Reunions and Reincarnations. And it's about the species of jellyfish that's called the Torritopsis dorni. And it's the only biologically immortal species in the world. So every time the species is exposed to like shock or trauma, it sort of retracts itself into its polyp stage. And I was so baffled by that process because I was like, wow, like how does it never die? And it's called, you know, reincarnations. You can see, you know, influences of sort of spirituality. I have immense interest in psychology and the subconscious mind, and I look at geology and geography to sort of become a metaphor for all the drama that goes on in the mind. So there's like that interior landscape versus the exterior landscape, which I find very engaging, and it's something that keeps it fresh every time.
Isn't she an amazing artist? You can see more of Sahaya Sharma's work on mojarto.com or on her website. Well, that's it from Mojarto on Art this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments for us, then write to us at onart@ndtv.com and you might just hear from us. Well, that's it. Good night.